Terror struck Manchester on Yom Kippur. A synagogue targeted in a combined stabbing and car ramming attack, leaving multiple worshippers dead. Authorities are piecing together what happened. The attacker was reportedly shot and killed by responding police. We'll bring you the latest details. A terror attack struck Yom Kippur services in Manchester in the UK today, leaving 3 people dead, including the attacker, and several others injured after the terrorist used his vehicle and a knife outside a synagogue. The violence erupted early this morning at the Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue, about 4 miles north of the Manchester city center. The synagogue is one of the anchors of the city's Jewish community, and the timing, on the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, would appear to be no accident. Worshippers were kept in place until security forces cleared the scene and then were ushered out under police escort. According to the BBC, witnesses described chaos, a car plowing into bystanders, and then several individuals bloodied with stab wounds. One witness recalled seeing the assailant, quote, stabbing the window in a frenzied bid to breach the synagogue. Police arrived within seconds after reports of the vehicle ramming and began shouting commands at the blade-wielding suspect before opening fire on the attacker, who refused to drop the weapon. Greater Manchester Police confirmed 2 of the deceased were members of the Jewish community, while at least 3 others remain in critical condition with injuries from both the stabbing and the vehicle ramming. British authorities immediately activated what's known as Operation Plato, the UK's emergency protocol for terror attacks, and formally designated the assault an act of terrorism. Yeah, that makes sense. Bomb disposal teams were called on the scene after, quote, suspicious items were found on the suspect, later prompting a controlled explosion. 2 arrests have since been made, but no further details were offered. Police say they believe they know the attacker's identity, but have not yet released it, while images, verified by the BBC, during the terror attack show the suspect sporting a beard and wearing all-black clothing. British security officials insist there is, quote, no risk to the public, though they advised residents to steer clear of the area as the investigation continues. The attack comes against a backdrop of rising anti-Semitic violence across Europe. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer cut short a trip to Copenhagen, where he was attending a European leaders' summit, to convene his government's emergency committee. He pledged to deploy additional police assets to synagogues nationwide, declaring, quote, we will do everything to keep our Jewish community safe. King Charles issued a rare personal statement, declaring he and the Queen were, quote, deeply shocked and saddened to learn of the horrific attack in Manchester, especially on such a significant day for the Jewish community. Israel's embassy in London condemned the assault while praising the, quote, swift and decisive police response. This marks the deadliest attack on a Jewish institution in Britain in recent years. It follows our PDB coverage earlier today of a Hamas-linked terror arrest in Germany and comes just days before the second anniversary of Hamas's 7 October terror attacks on Israel. All right, coming up next, the Gaza Flotilla has been intercepted by the Israeli Navy, bringing an end to the latest activist theater performance. We'll have those details. Hey, Mike Baker here. Now, you know those nights when you just don't sleep well? You know what I'm talking about. You're tossing and turning, your mind's racing, you just don't sleep. And the next day, of course, what happens? Well, you're dragging, you're exhausted, and then everything just feels harder. Well, that's where CBD from CB Distillery can make a real difference. And it's not just sleep products at CB Distillery. They've got solutions that work with your body to help with stress, with pain after exercise, even mood and focus. And it's all made with the highest quality, clean ingredients. And that's important. No fillers, just premium CBD. Imagine waking up rested or enjoying your day without those nagging aches and pains. That's the real win of CB Distillery's solutions. And that's why over 2 million people trust CB Distillery. Look, I use a relief balm for after workouts because, frankly, at my age, every workout involves some level of pain, and the relief balm really works great. So if you're ready for better sleep or less stress or just generally feeling better, try CBD from CB Distillery. And right now, you can save 25% off your entire purchase. Visit CB Distillery and use promo code PDB. That's cbdistillery.com, promo code PDB. Again, cbdistillery.com. Specific product availability depends on individual state regulations. Welcome back to the PDB Afternoon Bulletin. Well, the Great Gaza Flotilla has come to an end in the most predictable way possible. Once again, a group of activists set sail for Gaza, and once again, They were stopped by the Israeli Navy long before reaching the shore. This latest effort, known as the Global Samud Flotilla, began in Spain about a month ago. Nearly 50 boats, carrying close to 500 activists and an unknown number of hacky sacks and bongs, charted a course toward Gaza with what they described as humanitarian supplies. On board were a mix of campaigners, politicians, and high-profile names. Most notable among them, the always insufferable Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg. Nelson Mandela's grandson was also along for the ride, as were several European lawmakers who apparently aren't that busy with their European lawmaker jobs. Israel, from the start, saw the whole thing differently. Officials branded the flotilla as provocation yachts, or more derisively, selfie yachts in their view. This wasn't about delivering aid, but about creating a spectacle, and I can't say they're wrong. According to organizers, the operation began in international waters, roughly 70 nautical miles from Gaza. Dozens of Israeli naval vessels moved in, many with their transponders switched off. Activists reported communications jamming, live streams cut, radios silenced. Those who managed to film what was happening showed water cannons pounding across the decks. That sounds very dramatic, while naval craft boxed them in from all sides. One American activist described hearing Israeli warnings over loudspeakers: shut down your engines, wait for boarding, or face the consequences. By sunrise, contact with most of the boats had been lost. Organizers now say at least 39 vessels were intercepted. Israel confirmed that hundreds of passengers, more than 400 in all, have been detained and are being transported to the port of Ashdod. From there, they'll be processed and deported, ideally after having a chance to bathe. Israel also released video clips from the operation, including one showing Greta Thunberg sitting calmly on deck as soldiers handed her a water bottle and a jacket. Safe and in good health was how the foreign ministry described all the detainees. 2 boats remain question marks. One, called the Marinette, is reportedly still at sea with a handful of people on board. Another, the Mykonos, may have briefly entered Gaza's waters before contact was lost. For now, Israel says it intends to intercept any remaining vessels if they approach the blockade zone. As expected, the fallout has been loud. Protests have broken out in parts of Europe and the Middle East, while governments line up either to condemn or defend the flotilla's mission. But in the end, the reality is unchanged. Israel maintains the blockade, and activists who try to break it are stopped. And that, my friends, is the PDB Afternoon Bulletin for Thursday, the 2nd of October. Now, if you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me at pdb@thefirsttv.com. And to listen to the show ad-free, you can do that, and it's very simple. Just become a premium member of the President's Daily Brief by visiting pdbpremium.com. I'm Mike Baker, and I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, stay informed, stay safe, stay cool. Hey, Mike Baker here. Let me take just a moment to talk about your personal finances. Now, you probably heard the Fed has finally dropped interest rates, and that's great news for American homeowners. After all, expenses have been a major burden on families. Wages are flat, prices keep climbing, and for many, the only way to make ends meet has been to lean on credit cards. But that cycle of high-interest debt, well, it makes it hard to stay ahead. So if you're a homeowner, I want you to call my friends over at American Financing. With credit cards charging rates around 20% or higher, you should look at the potential to use your home equity to save money. There's an easy path to see how you can finally put your hard-earned equity to work for you. American Financing can help you pay off that expensive debt, free up your cash flow, and keep your budget under control. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are saving customers an average of $800 a month. And if you get started today, well, you may even be able to delay your next mortgage payment. Take control. Call American Financing today. The number 866-885-1881. Again, that's 866-885-1881. Or just visit americanfinancing.net/PDB.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment, a really positive, nice, and kind comment. That would be appreciated. And if you're not already subscribed to our channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our daily updates.